Hi guys, welcome back to lesson 3 of beginner guitar. So in lesson 1 and 2 we covered the D and the G. Sticking with that premise, we're going to complete our chord progression today, which is going to be a 1-4-5 chord progression in a major key. Now I know that seems like a whole lot to digest, but I'm going to kind of simplify it and explain that to you along with this A chord. Okay, so let's get started on the A, and then I'll explain the 1-4-5 to you. All right, so I'm assuming we've all stretched, we've all tuned up, and we're all ready to go. So our D and our G, and to complete, we're going to do the A. Now I've had y'all working on a 1-finger bar just across like that. Now that could be considered an A power chord, or also you can play an A, but it's going to be much more of an accurate thing with that. So let's just do the normal A first, and then you can kind of practice along with that bar that you've been doing and try to isolate the notes to it. Okay, so the A chord is as follows. We're going to use these 3 fingers. We are going to start with the D string, and on the 2nd fret we are going to put our index finger. On the G string, our middle finger on the 2nd fret, and on the 3rd fret of the B string we're going to put our ring finger, strumming from the A string down that is your A chord. So as usual, let's do our 3 strums. Off, back on, off, and back on. We're much like the D with the G, it's not so close to change, so this is going to be a completely different set of muscles we're going to be working, and muscle memory we're going to be building. Now that being said, that completes our 1-4-5 in D major. Now what does that mean? Now I'm going to explain that to you, and I'm going to kind of keep it simple, so I don't want you to overthink this, okay? So everything we do is based on a major scale. The major scale being A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Each one of those is going to get a number, okay? We're looking at a major scale that I just wrote down in A. We're not worried about sharps and flats right now. We're not worried about anything else except the letters and the numbers for this purpose, okay? So if we want to figure out what our 1-4-5 is, we take our D, and we're going to start that as our 1 chord on the major scale. So then it would look like this: D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Of course, we come back to the beginning of the octave with the 8th note down here, but we'll get into that later on. So if D is our 1, we're going to look and search. 2 is E, 3 is F. There's our 4 chord G, which was our 2nd chord we learned, and our 5 chord A. So for right now, all I want you to digest with all this is the lettering and the numbers. And it works for any other sets of letters. So if I wanted to make E the 1 chord, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the B would be the 5. Okay? But for right now, we're just going to focus on the 1-4-5 that we have, and we're going to practice playing that 1-4-5. Okay? Now, with that being said, if you have a looper pedal, or if you have a backing track that you can go and find out on YouTube, any of that stuff, that's great, because I'm going to show you a major scale on your guitar you can practice along with those 3 chords that will get your fingers moving, muscle memory working, and also will let you play over the top of that chord progression, so you can kind of, you know, make music with your friends, right? So the 3 strings we're going to work on for this, it's a 3-string major scale, we're going to use the G, the B, and the E, okay? The first thing we have to do, and this is where tuners can help, since we don't have the the fretboard memorized yet, or your musical knowledge can help if you have musical knowledge and understand the sharps and flats, which we'll get into later on, but right now we just need to understand how to find our D, our 1 chord, our D on that G string, right? So we're gonna work our way down until we find that D, which is gonna be right there at the 7th fret of the G string, okay? Now, how do I know that? Well, because if I start with G and I work my sharps and flats all the way through, that ends up being the D. I'm telling you completely wrong. That's not the D. It's the 7th fret, and I'm playing the 9th. 7th fret. So from the 7th fret, we're going to go 7, 9 on the G. On the B, it's going to be 7, 8, 10, and then on the high E, it's going to be 7, 9, 10. So when you play it together, it's going to sound like, if you hit a wrong note, you're going to know it because you're not going to have that kind of do, re, mi sound, okay? So we can take that shape once we learn it, and we can move that shape up and down to any key, as long as, you know, we're not miscounting frets like I just did. So playing over that chord progression, here's the 1 chord, the D, 2, 3, here comes the 4 chord, 4, so that note is going to be a what? It's got to be a G, right? The 5 chord, 6, 7, and then we're back to the octave. And you can piddle around with that octave note if you want. On that 7th there, you can bend it, whatever you want to do. But just get the scale down, and as you're playing the scale, down, up, picking, right? So we want to go down, up, and then go reverse. All right, work on that, guys. I may have a bonus video coming out this week to go along with that. And next week, we're going to work on our next chord, which will be the E chord. If you have any questions, like I've said before, please submit them, please ask. You know, again, we're doing all this together, and it's okay to make mistakes, as you see. We all do. Even the ones of us that have been playing for 20 plus years, we still make mistakes just counting down and rolling through stuff. So take your time. The slower you go, the faster you will get. I know it's crazy sounding, but it's the truth. The slower you go, the faster you will get, and the better you will get these things down. These fundamentals are important, and we're going to get into playing songs and all that stuff. And as a matter of fact, with you learning that 1-4-5 progression, now you know your D, your G, and your A. You can go find lots of songs out. Just type in DGA, and you can find lots of songs that are written in that, and you can start making songs, you know. And it doesn't always have to be in that order. It can always be in, you know, the D major just gives you the structure. The order you put them in is your choice. So have fun with it. And like I said, any questions, let me know. Like and subscribe. Please share with anybody that has questions. Parents, especially, if you have questions, ask. If I can't answer it, I promise you I will find the answer out for you. There's not going to be too much of that I can't, but every now and again there's a question that one of us doesn't know. So let's just be humble and let's move on and let's learn, right? All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Make sure you stretch and tune up and have a good time. Bye.